A Tesla Robotaxi has reportedly crashed. And now a much bigger question is spreading online. Is something being hidden? Because when it comes to autonomous driving, even a single incident creates massive attention, not just from the public, but from regulators, from competitors, and from the media. Now here is where things get interesting. Early reports suggest the crash may not be as simple as it sounds. Some details are unclear, some information is missing, and that is exactly what is raising suspicion. But before jumping to conclusions, we need to ask the right question. What actually happened? And more importantly, what does this mean for Tesla's robotaxi future? Today, we are going to break down what we know about the reported robotaxi crash, what might be misunderstood or exaggerated, and whether this raises real concerns about Tesla's autonomous technology. If you want clear, fact-based breakdowns of Tesla technology and real-world events, make sure you subscribe to the channel right now. Because with topics like this, the truth is usually more complex than the headline. Let us begin. What actually happened? Facts versus noise. Let us slow things down, because when a headline says, "Robotaxi crash," people immediately assume the worst. But the reality is often more complicated. 1. What we know so far. Early reports suggest a Tesla vehicle operating with advanced driver assistance or autonomous features was involved in an incident. However, there are a few important points that are often missed. First, not every robotaxi on the road today is fully autonomous. In many cases, Tesla vehicles are still operating under supervised full self-driving, human oversight, real-world testing conditions. This means a human driver may still be responsible for monitoring the system, so calling every incident a robotaxi crash can sometimes be misleading. 2. The difference between autopilot and full autonomy. This is where a lot of confusion happens. Tesla currently operates in a transition phase. Some vehicles use autopilot, driver assistance, full self-driving, supervised, early robotaxi testing environments. These are not the same thing. If a crash happens during supervised driving, responsibility may still involve human interaction. But headlines often skip this detail, and that creates fear.
Autonomous.
3. Why early information is often incomplete. In situations like this, the first reports are rarely the full story. Initial information usually comes from witness accounts, short video clips, or social media posts. These sources can be incomplete, misinterpreted, or lacking technical context. Detailed crash analysis takes time. Engineers need to review sensor data, vehicle logs, camera footage, system behavior before the incident. Until that analysis is complete, conclusions can be misleading. 4. Why people jump to conclusions. Autonomous driving is one of the most sensitive technologies today. So when something goes wrong, reactions immediate. People start asking, is the technology safe? Can we trust self-driving systems? Is Tesla moving too fast? These are valid questions, but they require facts, not assumptions. Now here is where things become more interesting, because beyond the crash itself, the real discussion is about transparency. What Tesla shares, what Tesla does not share, and why. Before we continue, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you want clear, unbiased breakdowns of Tesla technology and real-world events. Because with topics like this, the truth is usually more complex than the headline. Is Tesla hiding something, or is this misunderstood? Now we move into the most sensitive part of this story. Because after any incident like this, one question always appears: is Tesla hiding something? It sounds serious, but we need to break this down carefully and logically. 1. Why people suspect hidden information. When information is limited, people fill the gaps themselves. And in this case, a few things triggered that reaction. Lack of full official details immediately after the crash, viral clips or partial footage online, headlines using strong words like Robotaxi failure. When people don't get clear answers quickly, suspicion grows. That's natural, especially when the technology involves autonomous driving, where trust is critical. 2. The reality: investigations take time. Here's the part most people don't consider. After any vehicle incident, especially involving advanced systems, there's a detailed investigation process. This includes reviewing onboard sensor data, analyzing camera recordings, checking software behavior, evaluating driver interaction. Tesla vehicles record a lot of data, but analyzing that data is not instant. It can take days or even weeks to fully understand what happened. So a delay in information doesn't necessarily mean something is being hidden. It often means the data is still being analyzed. 3. Tesla's history with transparency. Tesla has a pattern when it comes to incidents. In many past cases, Tesla has released detailed explanations, provided system logs, clarified whether autopilot or driver was responsible. But here's the key point. Tesla usually responds after verifying the data, not immediately, because releasing incorrect information would create even bigger problems. 4. The bigger issue: public trust. This situation highlights a deeper issue. Autonomous driving is not just about technology, it's about trust. Even if the system performs well 99% of the time, that 1% becomes the headline, and that shapes public perception. So every incident, even a minor one, becomes amplified.
5. The truth is usually less dramatic. In many previous cases, early reports sounded alarming, but later analysis often showed human error was involved, the system was misused, or the situation was more complex than it first appeared. This does not mean the technology is perfect, but it does mean the full story is rarely visible at the beginning. Now here's the real question. Even if this crash turns out to be minor or misunderstood, does this slow down Tesla's Robotaxi vision? Before we continue, make sure you subscribe if you want clear and balanced breakdowns of Tesla technology and real-world events. What this means for Tesla's Robotaxi future. Now let us move past the noise and focus on what really matters. Does a reported crash like this actually threaten Tesla's Robotaxi vision, or is this just part of the development process? 1. Every new technology faces incidents. This is something very important to understand. Every major transportation technology has gone through this phase. When cars were first introduced, accidents were common. When airplanes became popular, incidents were heavily scrutinized. And now with autonomous driving, we're seeing the same pattern. The difference is visibility. Today, every incident is recorded, shared, and amplified instantly, so even a small event can feel like a major failure. 2. One incident does not define the system. Tesla's autonomous systems operate across millions of miles of real-world driving data. That means performance must be evaluated at scale, not based on a single event. The real question is, how often do incidents happen? Under what conditions do they occur? And how does the system improve afterward? Because Tesla's advantage is not just the technology itself, it is the learning system behind it. 3. Tesla improves through data. Every incident becomes data, and that data is used to improve the system. Tesla's approach is different from traditional companies. Instead of static software, Tesla uses continuous updates, real-world data collection, and neural network improvements. This means the system evolves over time. In simple terms, every mistake becomes a lesson, and every lesson improves the system. 4.
regulation, and public reaction. However, incidents still have consequences. Even if technically minor, they can trigger regulatory reviews, slow down approvals, increase public skepticism. Governments want to ensure safety before allowing large-scale robotaxi deployment, so even a single reported crash can create delays, not because the system is failing, but because trust must be built carefully. 5. The bigger picture. Here is the key point. Autonomous driving is not a one-time release. It is a continuous process. And during that process, incidents will happen. The real measure of success is not whether incidents occur. It is whether the system becomes safer over time, more reliable, more predictable. Now we reach the final question. After everything we have discussed, should people be concerned about Tesla robotaxis? Or is this simply part of a much larger transition? Before we finish, make sure you subscribe if you want clear and balanced breakdowns of Tesla technology and real-world events. Warning sign or just part of the transition? Now we reach the final question. After everything we have discussed, is this Tesla robotaxi crash a serious warning sign? Or is it simply part of the transition towards autonomous driving? The honest answer is this. It is both a signal and a process. 1. Incidents are inevitable during transition. Autonomous driving is not a finished technology. It is evolving, and during any major technological shift, incidents will happen. That does not mean the system has failed. It means the system is still learning. Even human drivers are involved in millions of accidents every year, so the real comparison is not perfection, it is improvement. 2. The long-term metric is safety. What matters most is not one crash, it is the long-term trend. If autonomous systems reduce total accidents, improve reaction time, and eliminate human error factors, then over time they become safer than human drivers. That is the goal Tesla is working towards, and that is what regulators will ultimately measure. 3. Trust will take time. Technology can move fast, but trust moves slowly. People need time to feel comfortable with cars driving themselves, no human behind the wheel, AI making real-time decisions. Every incident slows trust slightly, but every improvement builds it again. This is a gradual process, not an instant shift. 4. Tesla's biggest challenge is not technology, it is perception. Tesla's system may improve rapidly behind the scenes, but public confidence depends on clear communication, transparency, and consistent real-world performance. If Tesla handles incidents properly and shows continuous improvement, trust will grow. If not, skepticism will remain. 5. The bigger reality. Here is the most important takeaway. Autonomous driving is coming, not because of hype, but because the technology is progressing step by step. This crash, whether minor or serious, is part of that journey. It does not define the future, but it does remind us that the future is still being built. Final thoughts. The Tesla Robotaxi crash raises important questions, but it also highlights something bigger. We're in the middle of a transition from human-driven vehicles to intelligent systems that learn and improve over time. And transitions are never perfect. They are messy, they are controversial, but they move forward. The real question is not whether incidents will happen. It is whether the system becomes better after each one. If you found this breakdown helpful, make sure you subscribe to the channel for more clear and honest analysis of Tesla technology and real-world developments. Also, leave a comment below and tell me your opinion. Do you trust autonomous driving, or do you think it still needs more time? And if you want to go deeper, watch the next video where we break down Tesla's full self-driving system and how it actually works in real-world conditions. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.